Pura Vida. Well, back on the road, folks. Heading up to the driftless region of southeast Minnesota. Well, we're gonna go and check out, do a little experimenting, a little bit of training. Tonight we're gonna go to the Snake Creek unit of the Richard J. Dorer State Forest. We're just southwest of Kellogg, Minnesota. And as you can see, we're going down in the valley. I think it was 2 springs ago I camped up here. I was at the south campground. Hopefully the north campground is open and nobody's in there. As there's a trail that I want to hike there, because the ones on the south side of the road are for ATVs and off-road OHVs and dirt bikes and all that crap. So let's hopefully cross our fingers and make sure to hopefully see it's open and we can camp there. And I'll fill you in on what we're training for and also what we're testing out. One thing that's really cool once you get up into southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, is the roads that go right through the middle of the farms. You got the house on one side and the rest of the farm on the other side. I know there's another spot like that over by Rushford. When we camped over at Vinegar Ridge, we drove through one. Sort of neat and brings back the old time memories of long, long ago. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. We're at a spot I'm hoping we can get. Oh, there's one car here. And they got a Weber grill in the back. So there's a chance they're going to be camping. The only bad thing is there's not many places. Oh yeah, they got a tent up already. Oh, there's a good grassy spot over here. No firing, that's one thing that sucks. There's one over by the bathroom as well. But we'll figure it out. We'll go figure something out. Alright. I'm in a predicament. I don't know what I'm going to do. I drove up in there, and remember there was that car that was up in there? Well, that guy has that tent. It's a big, big tent. And you could tell he has been there for quite some time, because there's weeds and grass that the DNR has mowed around his tent. I mean, that stuff is like almost knee-high grass. So he's been here all summer long, pretty much. So I don't know, is he a homeless guy? Is he dangerous? Is he not? I have no idea. So the other thing is, I don't know if you listen close enough, but he's got some big speaker. He's been blaring music the whole time I was here. I've been here for probably half an hour at least. I have my tent set up, air pads blown up, my down comforter quilt is unrolled. It won't take me long to throw it in the truck and then head back the road to the other snake campground that I've been to before. Not gonna start a fire yet, just in case I do have to go. But he seen me come in, he looked right at me. As I turned around, found this flat spot right across from the only flat spot. It's not too level here. And he continues to play music. He switched a couple different type of genre, but still, it's like, holy cow, dude. Show some respect to other people. He's in the tent. He's got like a big screened or a big porch type thing with a picnic table in there, and he's, I don't know, must be fixing supper or something. He looks like he's dicing something up. Probably getting ready to eat, but probably give him another half an hour, I don't know what to do. But other than that, I can, like I said, I can go back to that campground down the road, and then in the morning come down and hike the trails here that I want. It's like 4-point-some miles. And you're probably wondering, what was that your thing you're training for? Well, the end of September, Sam and I are going to be hiking 3 different sections of the Spirit Hiking Trail. Wild Valley Road to Jay Cook, Spirit Mountain, to Fond du Lac, and then Fond du Lac to Jay Cook. I'll be shuttling this 2 different times, which would be great. So we'll get down to some of the city sections of Duluth, which is a tough one to do because there's no camping. We do have a spot, possibly. A private property owner has opened up their property. Just got to contact them again. But, well, we're going to go wait this out, see what happens, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, for the record, the YouTube police I don't own the rights to any music you might hear in this video from that guy. He did turn down a little bit, so I'm gonna walk back into camp and see if it stays low and try to figure out what I'm gonna do for supper. Because I need to cook on the fire for supper, and I don't really want to start a fire if I don't have to, if I'm gonna definitely move. So wish me luck. Nice hair. Oh, good morning, folks. Let's see what temperature we got down to last night. 48 degrees. Beautiful fall camping, sleeping weather. Gotta love it. It's only gonna get better. It's just starting. I think it must be some type of early duck season on the Mississippi River. Now, I don't know if you heard those shots or not, but we'll be safe where we're at. As I don't think there's any other seasons open right now, but I might check if I get cell signal. But yeah, who went and finally turned the music down about 9:15, and then Toy turned it off at 9:30. Another car came in, set up camp. They didn't make a peep. They're pretty quiet. But I was gassed. I was tired. I fell asleep right away about 10. It's 6:30 now. Might go lay around here a little bit, maybe fall back asleep. But we'll get up, make some breakfast, load up my big backpack to do some little training for hiking the 4.2 miles, I think the trail is. And if I find a place to disperse camp, since I'll have this tent and all my stuff in it, we'll just stay there. It'll be great. Then I don't have to listen to the concert and stuff. So we'll get back to you later. You guessed it. Bacon and egg breakfast burritos for breakfast. And of course coffee. Well, never knew that guy left last night. No idea what time he left or this morning. I must have been out cold. His vehicle's not the quietest of all things, but it's not super loud. But the other Snake Creek campground, there's some dirt bike or quad that's zipping around. I don't know if they're fixing it or they took off or what, no idea. But I could live with that one because I was up already anyway. That the music during the whole entire time, not happening. So we're gonna hike this today. There you can hear the thing. And out that way over top of the Mississippi River looks like a clearing over a bluff. So I might be able to disperse camp up there. And if not, I'm gonna come back to the truck and we're gonna go someplace else, obviously. I'm not gonna listen to the rock concert 2 days in a row. All right, we're all loaded up. Gonna be a new one. I have a tent strapped on the back end of my backpack instead of hauling the hammock. Reason B, the place where we might possibly stay when we go up to Duluth on that Sunday night is private property owner. Asked her if it was hammock friendly and she thought it might be. So that's not 100% that it is. Sounds questionable, so I'm gonna go see what it's like with a tent and hike that around. The weight total with water, 3.5 liters or 2.5 liters of water and my little bit of food I'm bringing is about exactly the same as a hammock. But the tent I'm taking is that old 3-person dome tent that weighs, I want to say, about 3 pounds more than the Stenzel. But I have more room in there. I'd be able to put my backpack in there in case it's all dewy and wet. So there's the perks. The disadvantage is, of course, obviously it weighs more. But I have room to sit up in there, more room to spread out in case it if it rains. So we're gonna go try that out. So trailhead's right up here, 4.4 miles on the loop. and about 350 feet of elevation gain. So let's go. All right, here's the overall map of where we're gonna go. Campground, the starting point is right down there. We'll follow up, go on the outside loop. And on all trails, they go up, but then do a back, and then they hit this little one on down, around, and up. Here's that overlook that hopefully is flat enough and open enough I might be able to camp out there, I don't know. And then down around back to the campground, hopefully tomorrow, as hopefully I'll be able to disperse camp somewhere out there. I don't know why they didn't walk out this loop on all trails. Guess we'll find out, but I do know there's some power lines that go through there, and I don't know if they interrupt the trail when they made this loop on all trails, I don't know. Wearing windbreaker pants today because, as with all trails in southern Minnesota, southeast Minnesota, I don't know if they've been mowed or not. So far, these are looking good, nice and short. Somebody did hike the Reno about a week and a half ago, and he said the stuff was about a foot high, and had, but of course, the weed stickers. Well, guess they might have demoed it. At least it wasn't waist high like when I did it last time. But let's go check this all out. But oh yeah, the other thing would be is that's probably a different crew that does those 3 counties down there compared to the crew that does these trails up here. So hopefully these ones are more active. So let's go check it out. Not too bad so far. Bunch of pine trees mixed with a bunch of other trees that have grown in. Trail's not too bad. Spirit hiking trail laughs at that sign. Moderate trail, not, which means not much difficult. They probably, Spirit hiking trail says, hold my beer, watch this shit. But making good progress. Trail's been easy so far. A little bit of just a little rolling hills. You can see we're almost to the power lines and the creek bottom on that map that we just passed at the juncture in the trail. Liking it so far. Love the beautiful temperatures. I think it's like 55 degrees right now. Perfect hiking weather. And here is the power lines. That's actually a hill to climb up. That guy at the camp, whatever, he said that he was here when they went and put these all in. And he was talking about how far the span is. That's crazy. Looks like the trail goes up by that pole. It goes over that little tiny hill. And then those cables, yeah, they span all the way over to that next hill way in the background. We'll get a look at the droopage of the cables. I can see some of it right here in contrast with the dark trees. But we'll check it out, as I'm sure that is the trail over there. Back out to the power lines. Yep, just halfway up that hill on the other side is the trail. Came up over top this one. There's a little trail that cuts through the creek that takes out that very short little loop. I do think I figured out why they had that difficulty rating on there. I think it's for the cross-country skiers. This is only hiking and cross-country ski trails. Here's the pine trees I was scouting out as one of the spots to disperse camp. Usually you go inside there a little bit, it clears up as the undergrowth doesn't grow in there, it doesn't get as much sunlight. But yep, it's quite a big span from power pole behind me to across this valley. And there's our trail on the other side of the ravine, cutting right on back. As with all this southeast Minnesota trails so far, this one's pretty nice. So let's keep on going and keep on exploring. See if we can find another hiking spot, but still have my eye on the one that's overlooking the Mississippi River, because that one would be epic. But we have to get there first. Don't know how many miles we're in, if we're even a mile in of the 4.4 loop. What the world? Alright. On today's episode of strange or crazy neat things you see in the woods. Look at this big rock. Huh. I'm gonna go up to it. Looks like there's a little bit of a trail. How in the world did that get here? Sure, it's limestone. I can't see up the bluff, up the hill, if there's any outcroppings or not, but let's go check it out. It's pretty cool, all the lichens and stuff on it. See if we can zoom in without going over there, because there's a whole bunch of gooseberry. And just up a little bit, there's another one. Not as big, of course, but still pretty neat. And maybe one more back up that way. Looks like sandstone is my guess instead of limestone. It's really, really smooth on those little hole dimples. A lot of burls on that big oak tree. A couple shelf mushrooms as well. Okay, remember on all trails I said that they go up to that point or end of the trail to the northwest and stop and they go backtrack? Yep, I found out why. The trail does continue on, it looks like, up through the trees. But that's why we are off from state forest ground. So therefore we have to turn back, because obviously we do not want to trespass and make any landowners upset. But it'd be interesting to see where this trail actually goes and how far it stays mowed and stuff, or somewhat trimmed. It's not the greatest, the last bit that we had to come up through there. It's a little bit longer, so I'm thinking they don't quite really mow this up spot. I have no idea. But we're going to turn around, find the fork, and take a left. Okay, just got done doing that out and back on that northwest point. And we're going to cut through here, as is what it shows on all trails. But I did figure out why, when we get to the state forest land signs, why that trail continued on around. I went on my other mapping software, Onyx Backcountry, and it actually shows a trail that goes through there, loops around, and cuts on back. I don't know how the heck they do it, but on there it shows that it's actually on still state ground. So maybe they purchased that piece of property after they had the signs there. I don't know. But it does loop around on the other side of this ravine. And I think it comes out right on the other side of this little dip. Guys, I think we're taking a right away. But, oh well, we'll follow this trail, what they have on all trails, and check it out in the future. But, yeah, I'll go and do a screenshot of the trail, what it shows that's supposed to be there on Backcountry. On the Onyx app. But oh yeah, Onyx Backcountry, if you're hearing, hey, sponsor, hit me up, I'm all in. All right, another fork in the trail. I don't know when they mowed back here. It looks like it's been a while. Could be because there may be a tree down up that way. There was one that way, but it's not that bad for height wise. Don't know. Trees might have fallen after they mowed. But here's where we're at. Get my reflection off there. But remember we went out to there where the state forest land signs are? They got those different. That part I think they might have bought. I don't know. This is an old map though. But it's sort of weird how they have the angles. But that's where we turned around, came back, and we're there now. But it just goes to show, like, Backcountry Onyx was right. There is a trail that goes around this way. And I'm sure the person that laid the trail in all trails didn't feel safe going and doing that loop because the sign says you're on private property. Totally get it. I wouldn't risk it either. But we got there. We're going to go all the way down, up and down, and hopefully get to our point here pretty quick. Back on the trail that it just came down, and you always see something you didn't see on the way in. Here's another one of those mushrooms. It looks like a oyster, golden oyster, but obviously this is white. So I don't know. Pretty cool. I mean, it's like 12 feet up in a tree. I'll see if Google Lens can identify it or not. If I'm too far away or too close enough, I don't know. Supposed to be moderately difficult. Oh, we're back to the ravine, or not the ravine, place with the power lines. That'd be a nice one to climb up there. Oh, there's those pine trees in the middle of the camera that I was going to look at. But like I said, I'm pretty sure on the other side of this cut, I said that the trail comes back on around, which it does. Here's one I have no idea. I don't even know if it's in bloom yet. That is a strange flower head I've never seen before. All my naturalist friends. Any idea? Comment below. As I was going back in the forest, I noticed this vibrant red. I'm sure you can see it in the camera. Some vine, I don't know what kind it is. Already in fall colors. Pretty cool. If you see it with the naked eye, it's like really bright. Pretty neat. Alright, came out of the woods. Thought this opening, by looking at the aerial photo on Google Maps, would be open and overlooking the Mississippi River. Nope. This actual trail up here isn't really a hiking trail. It is a UTV trail. You can barely see the Mississippi River through the trees there. But my initial plan of camping right there, because I thought that was the opening for the hiking trail, I really don't want to, because by looking at the gravel, they actually use this quite a bit. They've been through here within yesterday or today. So we'll hike down this way a little bit. It'll eventually go to those high lines again. There's another fork that goes to the high lines. Then we'll come back. And more than likely, since there's no spot to camp up here, probably just go back to the truck and go to another area. You can hear the cars and stuff down below. But too bad we can't camp up here. There's not a big opening. Totally missed these mushrooms coming on the way in, or walked right by them. No idea what they are, if they're edible or not. Alright, well, that's the way we came. That's the way back to camp and the truck. I don't hear the music. I'm surprised. If he's there and blaring at you, I would have swore you would be able to hear it up here, because all it is across the creek valley. But it's all downhill from here. We're going to hop in the truck and we're just going to go explore. Where we end up, I have no idea. I think we're going to go north. There's a couple of different units of the state forest. And we'll go check it out, see if we could find a spot to camp there. No, Kruger's up there. Then you got, well, Frontenac State Park. So we're going to do that one on a whole weekend, not just a partial. Same with some stuff at Lake City. Bring back some childhood memories of going there as a kid. That'll be another weekend deal. There's some Zumbo Bottoms horse campground. Don't know if there's a bunch of horses and stuff there. It'd be a great day to ride horse. Nice and cool. So we'll go check that out. Maybe. Or just hit part of the Southeast Minnesota Adventure Trail. And that looks pretty interesting. It's like 410 miles if you do the whole entire drive loop. Might end up by Red Wing. There's the Hay Creek unit. Never been up there either. If you see anything cool, I'll videograph it, or I'll see you at the truck. Here we go. Here's our only overlooked anything. That's that big bluff or big hill that's right to the west of camp. Across the valley, over those hills is the south campground over there, and I'm sure they drive the hills. Yep, I can hear them. Trying to go in here if I can hear the radio, because the camp should be like right down there in the middle of the screen on the other side of this first set of trees. I think I hear music faintly, surprisingly. Well, guess what? We're going to throw the backpack in the back end of the truck and we're getting out of Dodge. Alright, there's the gate. The trail that we started went up that way. Forks right after the gate. But I could hear the music. He's playing a little spin doctor. It's pretty bad you can hear it halfway through the woods. But I'm going to close the video out here because it's more likely the guy's sitting inside his tent or the vestibule part of it. I don't want to deal with him at all today, considering he's not the most considerate person. It's like, okay, I get it, you want to jam out your music, but when people move into the campground, you probably could turn it down to a much more reasonable level. I have no idea how he has any hearing left, as it was so damn loud. But onward to the next adventure. Well, we made it to Whitewater State Park. They had a spot open, actually 3. So I took it. Got out of the rain. The rain's not falling anymore. If it does, it's going to be spotty. But I always didn't quit. Why? Again, a 3 or 4 month old. I can't pick a camp spot right next to a crying baby. Well, hopefully he quiets down, whatever, and don't hear much of him. But frozen pizza night on the campfire. Oh yeah. All right. Look at that za. Does that not look good or not? The crust is nice and crispy. Add on this new, I don't know if it's new or not, but the first time I've ever seen it, Parmesan with garlic. Pretty dang good. Bon appetit. It's crazy. Coyotes are howling and they don't sound like they're not even a mile away. I don't think so. That's dogs in the other campground across the highway. And of course, we're gonna quit right now. But I got thinking. Wait a second. I got thinking. The comment about the babies. Don't get me wrong, I like babies and stuff, but holy mackerel, you gotta try at least keep them a little bit from crying, figure out what's going on. But it's all quieted down. Maybe the kid went to sleep. It's gonna be a cold one tonight. We'll see how low it goes. It's supposed to get down to like 42. Wow. Good morning. 42 degrees. Slept like crap. About 3 o'clock, there was a bunch of coyotes. They're yipping. They had to been on the highway, which is not even a half a mile from here. It's like really, really close. They were loud. They were doing that for about 20 minutes straight. Then about 4 o'clock, then of course, there's actually a third baby out there. I could hear the thing crying. He was crying for half an hour before he finally got quiet again. Oh, crazy. But what do you do? Sounds like it's coffee bacon time. And time to get a fire going, get warmed up. Even though I'm pretty roasty toasty in this down comforter, but it's 7 o'clock, I think. Time to get up and get going because you hear other people are out moving around, so it's probably gonna get loud in the campground, just people moving around. So let's get up and go and get some stuff done. All right, we're gonna wrap up that camping trip. Beautiful night, a little chilly. Last night was a better night than the night before with the Rock and Roll Superstar, but it is what it is. Whatever floats his boat. But like I said, we're gonna do a bunch more training. 2 weeks. SHT, gotta love it. Can't wait. I'll give more details later, but I'm gonna go do another training hike. Dakota Trail, I think is what it's called. But well, we'll see you out on trail. As always, live life, don't live in fear, or you're gonna miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.